CALVA LOUISE. This band was brought to my attention by JMCM back in February, and I've been an avid listener ever since. They have a crazy blend of metalcore, electronic, and industrial music spiced up with their Venezuelan, French, and New Zealand roots. I reached out to them for an interview, and they kindly said yes, and here we are. Unfortunately, Jessica, the singer, was feeling ill, and she could not join because they got a tour coming up on Saturday, so she needs to rest, which is totally understandable. So we wish you well, Jessica. CALVA LOUISE is a band that really is unique, and they have a huge variety of sound, and here is a few clips of what they do. So if you would like to introduce yourselves, and then I'll start bugging you with questions.
I'm Alizon, and I play bass in CALVA LOUISE.
And I'm Ben, and I am the drummer in CALVA LOUISE.
Fantastic. I do live streams where people request music, and I try and get as many different kind of bands as I can and people from kind of all over the world. And you guys came up, and I was pretty blown away. I listened to a lot of different stuff comes through there, and your music it really struck me as unique. It's one of them that I followed and just kept listening to. So it's really cool to talk to you guys. I just saw you guys in Chicago at the Cobra Lounge. I took my wife and son there to see it, and they both had a pretty great time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's wicked.
No, Chicago was quite a high note for us as well, because we love Chicago. Like, every time we played, it's been a fantastic show, so we're quite looking forward to it, and that was probably one of the best ways to end the tour. So
yeah, and so we've always kind of said that if we had a hometown in the US, it would probably be Chicago, because we've played there probably more than any other place.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Wow.
Yeah, like we just love it there. It's a cool city, cool people.
So have you had time to spend and just kind of go around the city and eat and just kind of be there, or? A
little bit. We walked around a little bit the day of the show.
Yeah.
Where we had time to kind of go to the famous Bean, take some pictures and walk around a bit. Not as much. We had time to visit a couple of years ago when we came for Riot Fest. That was awesome, and we had a few days to visit, so we tried the Chicago style pizza and all the walking around on all the bridges, and it was amazing. So
it is
not this time, but we've had a good look.
Nice. I live about 2 hours away to get there, and I visited quite a bit, and as I've been able to travel around, it's become less intimidating going there. I live in a pretty small town. So it used to be I'd get in and get out to a show, and now I don't mind kind of hanging out and enjoying the city. Where do we want to start here? There was a lot of stuff geared towards video production and stuff like that, which I don't know how involved you guys are in that, or if it's mainly Jessica's thing.
It's pretty much, I mean, everything after the shoot is pretty much just Jess.
Okay.
I mean, we both have a hand in all of the pre-shoot stuff and on the shoot day.
Right.
Yeah, so the process for videos is usually, so Jess will write the script for a video, that follows the universe storyline.
Right.
So, depending on where that song is set within the story. So she'll write a script for it. And then where we're the most involved is this whole pre-production process. So basically she'll give us the script and we'll go through it together, and we'll make notes, because at one point there's like a horse or like a 90s car, or there's like a weapon of some kind, or like a weird device, or like all sorts of things, and we make notes and we're like, okay, we got to find a 90s car, we got to find this and that and that, and we make notes. And so our job ahead of the videos is mostly preparing, finding the location. We'll go and take pictures and things, and organizing all the props and the sets, and there's like, oh yeah, we need like a big red door in the middle of a room that needs to be opened, stuff like that. So it's quite fun because it's always different, and I'm always looking forward to see the next script personally, and see what I got to build or what we got to find, and then on the day of the shoot, it's basically us and our friends, and then we go through everything as quick as possible. But it's very much just like a small team effort. So Jess will direct, and then we'll have sometimes we'll hire a friend who comes with like a camera and like some hired gear, and then I'll do camera B or whatever, and then whoever, and then we have our friends acting to be the characters, who are doing a brilliant job, by the way, because a few of them do act professionally, but most of them don't, and so they've really taken the role at heart and trying to do the best for it. And so with what they do and like Jess's magic editing, it's like amazing, like honestly. They are really incredible. And then Jess, after the shoot, after the shoot, Jess will take all the footage away, and then spend weeks on our computer and produce what we see.
That's amazing, man. The videos are incredible, and they're such a huge thing. Like people, because it's such a double whammy where you get this music that's super creative, and then it's like, dude, this video is wild, and then just the videos alone are cool, and then you realize there's an overreaching story over everything, and you kind of dig in, and there's just so many layers to get through. It's really cool. So you guys are very you embrace like the do-it-yourself kind of ethos of getting things done, but as far as like labels and production, even your own stage equipment, I've heard like the keyboard stand and all that stuff. Has this gone from this is something we have to do to it's just better this way, or what's your kind of view on that?
It's funny actually, because it's sort of a little bit of both. Like it was originally born out of necessity. We would need something, but we wouldn't have the means to like achieve it, right? Like with money. So we'd have to figure out ways of doing it on like low budget or with just using what we have. And I think like there's always like little hurdles or little problems that need solving, which we kind of just try and find ways of doing ourselves rather than just the old school way.
It's still like the case that we have to do that in many ways. So it was definitely born out of necessity, because you want to have you have like ideas and you want things to be bigger and better, but you don't have the money to buy fancy equipment or to just kind of buy things or pay people to do things. So, I think the whole history of the band, it's always been, we want to get to that point. We have no idea how, but we're going to figure it out. And so trying to learn, it's, the same with Jess with the video. Like, we worked with people before for filming videos, and, it was great, but you can't ever really achieve your vision through other people, especially when no one's getting paid much, if at all. Right. So it's like, so she just she decided to learn all the special effects, all the all the editing, the videos, the 3D, the CGI. So it's very much just like, you can't just wait until one day maybe you find like money or someone that wants to invest. You
find a videographer who's a fan of the band and will work for free.
So exactly. And then as you start doing it yourself and figuring it out yourself, then you get more opportunities as well, because we get to meet people, that maybe we'll work with in the future.
Yeah.
It's like you got to get the ball rolling yourself. And and it's still out of necessity in a way, because I'm thinking about the last tour that you just saw. So to fly over to the US, we were very limited in terms of space and weight and things, because like one of the airline companies, they had like smaller carry-on restriction than everybody else. So I had to make like custom cases just to be able to bring our stuff on the plane that we had to throw away after the tour, because they just because we didn't have enough space after I stayed.
Oh my gosh!
But we're still at points where we have to make things ourselves, because it's the only way to get to where we want to be.
Yeah, I mean, there's been throughout the history of our band. There's been loads, hundreds of moments like that, like little things where we've had to figure things out and almost create like a patchwork solution just to get to the next step, and then from there, we see what else needs doing, and it's just like a gradual, consistent pushing further. That's what it is.
So what is there backgrounds that you guys have that kind of lend themselves to this necessity? Any engineering or just kind of jobs that you had?
To some degree. I mean, Alizon,
just being broke.
Yeah, just being broke. That's the skill. The skill of being broke. Yeah, I mean, you grew up in around a workshop. Right?
Yeah, my dad is like a set designer for outdoors event and then festivals and things. So he's got a big workshop that I just grew up in, and so I was always around tools, and he didn't really specifically teach me how to use the tools and how to make things, a little bit, but not but it's more about I grew up watching things being built from nothing, and watching drawings on a wall becoming giant 100 feet sculptures. So I'm it's possible. So I kind of got that from this. I'd say I got this mentality of I know it's possible. I know things that you can imagine on paper can become a reality. I'm not sure how exactly, but I know it's possible. So let's just figure it out.
That's important. My family was, didn't have a lot of money either. So cars were the thing. We had to have a car, and they always had cheap cars, and cheap cars break down. So we had to work on cars, and there was so many times where you're sitting in the garage, it's like, dude, this is impossible. We can't get this part out. But you figure out how to do it anyway. So I've kind of applied it to a lot of things. This is impossible. It's nope. Remember that freaking car you had to work on? You figured that out. You can figure this out.
I feel that. I've been in that situation as well many times. With half the axle and things missing, and you're I can't get that bolt out. Right. What am I going to do?
Some of your main musical influences, and maybe some more obscure ones. I guess main influences first. And I guess that'll lead into what got you started doing what you do, playing your instruments.
Well, so for influences, it's interesting because we all grew up in different continents. Obviously, Jess grew up in Venezuela. You grew up in New Zealand.
Yeah. And
I grew up in France. So individually, we have influences from different places. Jess grew up listening to bands like Calle 13, Molotov. And I grew up listening to French rock, and then you grew up with
I was kind of New Zealand got a lot of the US kind of skate park music coming through, so that was Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, Blink, POD, all of that, Korn, so that was my sort of intro to music, really.
But then we kind of join. How do you say? We kind of
bonded
over similar influences. So first ones I would say were probably System of a Down.
All right.
Queens of the Stone Age as well. And Muse as well in the early days.
Yeah.
Muse was a big influence, especially for Jess and me. And then that's like we started there really.
Yeah. I didn't know about Muse until I moved to the UK, actually. Like, I didn't hear about them at all. I mean, yeah, they would have probably just put their first album out as I moved, I think. When did you first hear of Muse?
I don't know, when I was in
School.
high school. Like, just when I was, I don't know,
Yeah.
14. Yeah, and they've got, like, one thing I also always admired is the stage design. Just, there's the vision there that I always loved, because we went to see them live with Jess when we were teenagers. When we met, we became friends. Jess saw them more than I did, but I was just blown away by the stagecraft. Like and every tour is like a different beast, and it's super creative, and it's like there's like lights and fire and screen, and you're like, there's a lot going on, but it's coherent.
Yeah,
they've always put thought into that, haven't they? And effort. Like,
exactly.
That's one thing about Muse. They've always treated their live show as like a full experience rather than just a performance of the music.
Right. Interesting. Is that you guys got plans for big? I don't know if you've played bigger venues or you've had a chance to do a little more with stage or lighting or anything, because I've only seen it in a small little club.
Yeah, so that's one thing. This time we couldn't bring any of our stage production with us, but we've got some bits. Again, DIY.
Right.
It's like we actually got.
There's a big sign over there, like an LED sign.
It, but there's like a big neon.
Bring it over. Oh God! Fix it later.
I'll fix it later.
Yeah.
But there's like a big neon sign that I made a while back, and we've got like a bunch of lights and all handmade, but it works.
Hell yeah, man!
And we're always trying to develop that aspect as well, because for us it's, I don't know, I love personally the fact that you're watching a show and it's like a whole experience. The music is there, but and with CALVA LOUISE, I feel like there is such a background to dig into for storytelling, for characters, for there's such a rich universe that there's so much material to use, like also in the live environment. So we definitely have lots of ideas for that. So awesome. Hopefully we can develop that very soon and play bigger venues to do that.
Well, I'm glad I got to see you in a pretty small club. It was a really cool experience. I got to say, just 3-piece bands to me in general are pretty awesome, just because what you're dealing with. And now I guess there's a lot more tools you can use to make that sound bigger, but it also it takes a lot of planning to get to that point where especially music like yours, where there's a lot of effects, there's a lot of digital things going on, and now you have to incorporate it into a live setup, and that's got to be a whole nother headache and planning. I did see.
Yeah, it's sometimes.
Yeah, I was watching an interview with Forever Loud. You talked about shooting a video and effects and recording, and then realizing you'll actually have to perform it, like the production and the music, and then getting the video done. And now you got to figure out how to like kind of bring it to life. How much does that play into? Is that a thought when you're recording, when you're putting everything into it, or is it just kind of, we're going to have to make this happen?
Not really.
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah,
not for us at least.
Yeah.
So the process for the music is that, so Jess will write a song, and she'll start on Logic. She uses Logic to write and record. We all do, and she'll write. She'll write everything. Like, she'll write the lyrics and the melody. She'll record guitars and vocals, and then she'll add. She'll program like drums on it, and then she'll add like
MIDI bass, MIDI drums,
and like anything she wants to throw out there. like all the electronic bits as well, like keys and the synth and sometimes strings, and so she'll like lay it all out onto a session, which is the demo at this stage, and then so when we get it, it's a song already, and then we'll work on our parts specifically. So we do all that at home, by the way. We don't go to the studio because no money to go to the studio.
You don't have to anymore.
Also, I mean, it's still, the studio is still great. It's still a great place to be and record and be creative. But again, it's time and money, and so hopefully we'll get to that point. But we do everything at home, and so we take the advantage of doing that is that we have the time for us. There's no pressure. You're not on the clock. Right. We do have to, work on it and deliver it quickly, but you can work on it all day if you want. Nobody's waiting for you.
Yeah, you're not burning up studio time.
Part quickly. Yeah, exactly. So then we'll work on our part separately. I'll figure out bass lines. I'll write a bunch of bass lines, and sometimes, more often than not, I record like 2 or 3 different versions.
Interesting.
And then you'll work on the drums.
Yeah. What's good about this as well is because Jess will give us the session that she's been working on, so we can isolate whatever tracks we want and listen in, and make sure nothing clashes or whatever with whatever we're writing.
Yeah.
So it's just the ability to examine that at will is nice as well. Like, rather than sitting in the control room at a studio with another producer being like, "Oh, can you just play just that?" It's just wow. You can just do it like that, and it's super easy, and it's more fluid workflow, I guess.
Right.
And it is also like we don't have to consider live as much in these moments because we can just, like, I remember some songs, for example, recording the bass in different tunings. Some parts I was tuned one way, some parts I was tuned a different way, just because I could get the sound that I wanted out of like an open string better, or like if I wanted to do like an open string with like some I don't know, some notes with the open string in between or whatever, and it's what sounded kind of easier to do.
And then you have to relearn it.
You have to learn it. But yeah, when we record, I don't think we don't really think live. We think what's most beneficial for the song.
Yeah, it's like, how can we make this song awesome?
It's
like
how can we just kind of help lift it up a bit,
support it, and
with our bit, But then when it comes time to play it live, it's just another work. It's fun. It's still great to do.
Yeah, it's like you listen to the song in a different way, because when you're recording, you're just writing your parts and stuff, and then the song gets produced, and you're listening to the song again and again and again, with mixed notes and everything, and you're deep diving into it. But then when it comes to learning, that you listen to the whole thing with like from a different paradigm almost, and then it's like, oh yeah, that's right, we've got to play that now. So then we go, how do we do this? How do we figure out these parts, and who takes which parts, and see how much we can actually perform.
Yeah, it's an interesting aspect. I think people that don't play they would never think about. I write and record my own stuff, and when you say you base a song off of a guitar riff, and then you go record it, and you, like you said, spend hours listening to the same thing over and over, trying to get it right or whatever, then you can listen back to it, and you're like, well, that's not even what I started with, or something else might stand out that you need to kind of that's what casual listeners will hear. They may hear the combination of a couple things instead of just the one thing, and you kind of need to make that stand out in a live setting or something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, that happens quite a lot for me with the drums and layers of percussion. And a good example is Hatin' Me, because in the chorus of that, there's the main drum, and then there's like a tom rhythm going on, and then there's this kind of like shuffling beat that's layered underneath. And I had to sit down and figure out, how do I replicate all of that as best I can with just me and the drum kit.
Right.
So I kind of found a middle ground, and that's that's different to what was played on the record, but it's
like how to
present,
keep the same feeling. Like it's kind of, I mean, I've got that as well sometimes, because one of the co-producer, Mazar, also has a tendency to add extra like synth basses, and so sometimes there are actually two different bass lines going on, and so
it sounds really cool.
I mean, it sounds, again, it's it's what's a song and what sounds best.
Yeah.
But or like Jess sometimes will also use like sequencers and things a lot at the production level. So it sounds awesome. But then I got to think, how do I replicate the same feeling?
Sure.
And so it happens sometimes that I have to play a different thing that was played on the bass on the record, just to be able to convey that same vibe on the song.
Yeah, you guys are busy when you're playing, because you got to trigger things here and there. I see you both got to run back, and it was really cool seeing that. Because I wonder, because there's a lot going on in the music. I'm like, well, how, what's this going to sound like? Because you could do it just as a 3-piece and just let all the other stuff go, but then it wouldn't be near as impactful. So seeing you go to your digital pads or boards and tweaking knobs and setting up effects on the fly was pretty awesome, man.
We're trying to keep it, I don't know, it's we want to play as much as possible. It's we want to perform the songs and play it. It wouldn't be fun if it was just playing off the backing track and you got these great things and you're like, I want to play that.
Yeah.
So I think we do everything we can, and we kind of learn. It's like a choreography, you know. You have to learn that at that point I need to put the pick in my mouth and just play the keys, and then play the pad, and then put one finger on my bass to let a note ring while I take my pick back and I press another key. And, it's like
That's awesome.
You have to sort of sit down and go through the motions.
Yeah.
I mean, you could easily bump a lot of that stuff to a backing track, but you're what you want to do is even take those parts, even though they're digital, and still do a performance. I think that's great, man. It was really cool seeing it all come together. And my wife, I had played some of your music for her. I'm like, this is who we're going to see. She's like, okay. So, and the first, what'd you start off? I think you start off with WTF, which is a pretty intense song. And she's just like, whoa, and because somebody's singing, you tend to watch the singer, but then she's like, dude, every one of these guys has something just worth watching the whole show for. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It was pretty cool.
That's really nice. Thank you. Thanks to her.
Listening to the music, I saw a lot more of what each of you do live. Your respective parts you do I realized some more of the complication to him while I was watching it live. I'm like, dude, he's doing some crazy shit on the bass, doing a lot of stuff on the drums. So it was just like, it made me listen to the music more. And then, especially now talking to you guys, I kind of appreciate what it takes to take it from the recorded to the live. It's pretty, as a musician, I appreciate.
That's cool. I appreciate that too. I have the same thing live, with music that I like and I find interesting. It's always nice to watch live because you can really almost like separate the parts more. Like you can really see what people are doing, and you're like, wow, this is cool. And I heard it, but I never really visualized it. When you see people perform it, it takes another dimension.
Sure. Yeah.
We do have to spend a lot of time practicing though.
Yeah, we
can't just show up 1 week before the tour and play the songs. It's like, before a tour, typically, we'll practice every single day for at least 2 months. Yeah,
it's usually we start practicing about 2 months before a tour.
We still, even when we're not touring, we still practice, every 2-3 days.
Yeah, we're like, just do like refresher practices just to like stay on top of it and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it blows my mind, honestly, like how, like you say, some bands, they live in different countries sometimes, and then they just come together before a tour and rehearse for a week. And it's like, for us, that seems like impossible. Like we see each other every single day.
That's great too, though. I mean, you have to figure out where you're going to be on stage for a certain part of the song.
Yeah, pretty much. We've got to figure out the parts, like how it's gonna be, how it's gonna sound.
Right.
Yeah.
I imagine when Jess sends a demo out, is it more suggestion as far as bass and drums go, and you guys do what you need to do to make, kind of replicate what she wants, but also elevate the song.
Yeah, it's like a core essence. So there's like a feeling or a vibe or a way it needs to sound, but then it's up to us to articulate it in the best way.
Right on.
If that makes sense.
Yep.
And sometimes there are parts sometimes that she writes and that it has to stay like that because it just works perfectly. So some bits, some riffs, sometimes some double kicks or things. It's like that's just the part because it's just too good.
Right.
Or like sometimes with the bass, when there's like big riffs going on and the bass is just going with the guitar, then that's just there's no point changing it because it just hits.
It just needs to impact.
Exactly.
Hit that pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
At the end, it's always what's beneficial for the song.
So CALVA LOUISE. To me, it just sounds like a name, and then I found out later that it was just the name of the band, and not Jess, and then find out it means bald Louise or balding Louise is what it means.
Yeah, that's correct.
And that's one of the main characters in the story, or the main character.
So yeah, Louise is the main character.
Okay.
And then the bold part, it comes from the play.
L'Encanto.
La cantante
Calva.
La cantante calva. Thank you. Which means the bold soprano.
Okay.
And it's a play. It's an absurd play by a French-Romanian playwright called Eugene Ionesco. Wow. And Jess and I studied it both in school at different times, and it's like a play about like absurdity of communication. And when we first got together as a band, we were all speaking different language.
Wow.
And so communication was a very weird thing. It was very difficult.
It was very, very strange.
So when Ben and I first met, we couldn't speak to each other because I didn't speak English.
Wow.
And so like when the band first came together, it was English, French, and Spanish, and then Jess could speak the three languages, but
Jess could speak English at the time, so I could speak to Jess, but even so, like there was still like you were learning English at the time, and like Jess's English is so much better now than when I first met her.
Oh wow!
And like I just remember in practice, like in rehearsal rooms, we would like have just complete misunderstandings. We'd be talking about different things, and it would just get to the point where it was actually hilarious because we would like have to backtrack and break down the language thing and just see like, oh, so that's why you were talking about the elephant rather than the bass,
right? So I've been to Japan a few times, and like I would find myself where my friend would be like, well, do you need to stop? I'm like, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, no, you need to stop. No, it's fine. Let's go. It's like, oh man, you gotta be a little more direct in here in your phrasing. So that's definitely. So how did you guys meet? How did you guys all come together?
Jess grew up in Venezuela.
Yeah.
And she moved to France when she was 16, I believe. Mm-hmm. 16. Yeah. And then after a brief stint living in a nunnery, she went to school, which turned out to be Alizon school, and they met in French school. You guys became friends. Like, you were looking for people to start a band, and Jess was kind of the only other one who was like, yeah, I want to do a band.
Oh, wow.
So you guys like started playing music together.
So
and then eventually Jess...
Sorry, was she learning French then? So she could talk to you?
Her dad is French. Her dad is French, so she went to a French school in Venezuela.
Okay.
So she could already speak French. So, basically, when she was still in Venezuela, she had in mind to go to the UK to continue music, have a music career, because it was easier, than being in Venezuela, and because her dad is French and she spoke French already.
Okay.
going to France to finish her studies was easier, and it was close to England. So, because she moved to Normandy, that's where I'm from, and that's just a ferry away from England. So that's what she moved there, and then once we started playing together, we had a band in France for like 2-3 years, and then she was like, well, I just really want to go to England now. So I was like, okay. And it took me a minute, but I was like, okay, fine, I'll come with you. Wow. And we started doing trips to London. We started spending like 2 weeks a month in London for like 6 months, sleeping in like horrible motels and hostels and disgusting places, and like going to open mics every day, or trying to go to free shows, trying to meet people, because I didn't speak English, we didn't know anybody in England, we didn't know how the music industry worked.
Wow.
And then we met a guy through a friend of a friend, like people we met, and it was Omar, who was booking shows at the Underbelly in Oxton in London.
The Underbelly.
And he put us on a show, like a bill, supporting, and Ben's band was playing there the same night. And so that's how we met the first time.
Yeah, so I was playing in a different band prior to meeting these guys, and we were gigging around like London, Greater London, and then this night that you guys played, that's how we met basically.
Wow.
And and then we had an opportunity to record some demos in a friend's bedroom.
Why?
But we didn't have a drummer.
Yeah.
So Jess and I, for a while, we just played just guitar and bass and vocals together. And we didn't have a drummer, and so she was like, "Oh, you remember that drummer? He was really nice and really good. Ben, I think it was." No, she remembered well. I didn't, because we couldn't speak at the time.
Yeah.
And so she called Ben and was like, "Oh, we've got this opportunity to do some demos. Would you fancy just jumping on, trying some bits?"
Yeah. And I was like, hell yeah. Because when I saw these guys play that first night, I was like really impressed. I was very, very impressed.
Well, what kind of show, what did you do with just the two of you? Was that with the backing track, or?
No, so we had like a former drummer back in France who came for a few shows that we were doing in England, but he was like much older, already had a wife and kid and a house and all that, so he was just kind of doing what he could and just coming sometimes. Right. So we did a lot of shows just bass and vocals with guitar, bass and vocals, but just that, no backing track, nothing, just that. It was literally just us two traveling around with our guitars on our backs.
Electric. Electric guitar
and like just electric guitar there. I mean, electric bass and electric guitar, and then doing like different songs, but like open mics with like local harmonies and stuff. Trying to.
Was it heavy stuff? Like your?
Well, it was, but then the version of these songs were like that we were doing were more like chill because it was just the two of us.
Right.
So we had to adapt the sound to like just guitar and bass.
But when I saw them for the first time, it was with the drummer. With the drummer, and it was there was like moments of heaviness there.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It wasn't like metal.
Cool. Yeah, it wasn't metal.
Okay.
It was like
like heavy rock.
Yeah, heavy alternative rock with like cool harmonies and stuff. Yeah.
Awesome, man. That's cool to hear. The origin story.
You're getting a lot of details that a lot of people don't get.
Yeah.
I'm going to say.
That's the idea, man. That's what I want. That's about it. That's all I really had.
Nice.
Thank you so much for still doing the interview, even though Jess is sick. Hope she gets feeling better soon. So you guys are going on another tour soon?
Yes.
Yeah, on Saturday we leave.
For a month in Europe. So we're supporting a band called Stray from the Path on their last tour.
Really?
Like final tour.
On their final tour. So we're supporting them with two other bands, Alpha Wolf and Graphic Nature. And so there's going to be 25 shows across Europe.
Wow, and how many days? How many days?
It's a month. It's from the 28th of October to the 28th of November.
Yeah.
So it's 25 shows, so there's not many days off.
Oh my god, dude, that's going to be a grind.
But the cool thing is that we're going to be on a bus for the first time.
Yeah, we'll be
looking forward to that.
We'll be sharing a bus with the other bands, so it's going to be, a new experience for us.
Oh, good, man. I'm glad to hear it. From the first time I heard you, I think I found it was February 7th was the first time a guy, I think he's from Spain actually, he suggested you on my live stream. And at that time, I think you had about 25,000 subscribers on YouTube, and now you're closer to like 40, I think. I
haven't looked recently, but
35, something like that, 39. So that's growth, man. I'm glad to see it.
Nice, yeah.
I'll keep pushing it because I think you guys are amazing.
Cool.
And more people should know about it.
Yeah, thank you.
So where are you based?
I'm in northern Indiana, so just next door to Illinois, which allows me. I'm like 2 hours from Chicago, 2 hours from Indy.
Yeah, we drove back after Chicago back to LA.
No kidding.
Because we had to return the van to LA where we started the tour.
Wow.
So we did that in 4 days. And it was actually pretty cool. Like, obviously, it was a lot of driving, but we got to see a lot of cool places. We went through Utah and Colorado.
And my wife and I just got done with the trip in July. We drove out to Colorado. There was Indiana Jones movies. I'm sure you've heard of those. And The Last Crusade, when he's a kid, he runs back to his house to like tell his dad or whatever. Well, that house is a bed and breakfast now, and I found it. So we booked the night there like 4 months in advance. So cool. And then it was like, well, what are we going to do? Because it was in southern, like this, right on the border in Mexico, Colorado, and like 3 days drive, 24-hour drive if you went straight through. So we went to St. Louis and out there, and then up through to Red Rocks and all that stuff, and a lot of the same terrain you guys saw, and it's amazing, man. I've never been out there. So much to see.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Pretty spectacular.
It's majestic.
Yeah.
We'd find ourselves on nothing but flat land for hours, and then all of a sudden you can't see around. You can't see more than 10 feet to your side. That's cool. You got to do. So you spent 3 days. It's.
4 days drive.
Yeah.
The first 2 days were like, was it Nebraska and Wisconsin that we crossed? I'm looking at Iowa. It was Iowa and Nebraska.
That's it. Yeah.
And then Colorado and Utah.
Yeah. Straight through the middle of the country.
Yeah, it was super cool. We actually had time to make a few scenic stops, which we never do.
Yeah. So it was nice to make time for that.
It was great to have time for that, yeah. Because when you're on the tour, you're on the clock constantly. You don't have time to stop anywhere.
Well, Ben, Alizon, thank you so much for being so...
Thanks for having us.
So willing to talk. I did join your Discord, so, we can communicate.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, nice one.
And I told some people I know about it that I know are loving the band. Hopefully I'll be able to get to talk to Jessica sometime. I hope she feels better and you guys get this tour kicked off and kick ass.
Thanks. Nice. Yeah, feel free to reach out on Discord as well, DM or whatever.
Okay.
We can talk on there.
Yeah.
We try to be fairly active on Discord.
On the Discord.
Keep it going, reply to everybody. Especially when we're touring, sometimes we have to wait. Sometimes it takes a few days, but we try to be there on it.
That's cool.
We really love it.
The great thing about getting into bands now is you have that ability to kind of actually communicate with people and directly. It's pretty fun.
Yeah,
and it's great to have that platform because none of the other socials you get that sort of direct communication.
With, like a personal link
with your audience in a way. So we really enjoyed this platform because it's a more it's a closer connection to everybody that's involved in the band with the band. So it's like really good feedback and really good. We can, I don't know, we do like polls about the merch and things. And
right on.
It's like a nice, and it's like a super nice community.
Yeah, people are nice.
We really love our audience. Like everybody's
awesome,
so nice.
That's great. I started one when I started my YouTube channel. Finally, people started watching it. I had somebody say, "You should start a Discord." I'm like, "What the hell's a Discord?" I had no idea about 4 years ago. And I jumped on there. I started. I'm like, I don't know what to do now. And then there's so many people that are just willing to help. It's like, hey, you need a mod. I can help you get set up. And people just are willing to help. And a lot of these guys have been with me for like 5 years, just helping out. I've been able to go meet them at places. And I got, on mine, I have like, I don't know, probably over 100 different band channels where I find a band I like. You got your own channel on there. For people, if they want to focus in on one band, they can go to the band and talk about it. And
that's a cool idea, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, you can, there's general, lost. Yeah, general chat, or you can go to the specific thing. And cool. I sent Alizon, I sent you a link if you feel like joining. Yeah, you know.
Nice.
Come on over to Discord. Let's put it a DM on Discord. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but yeah,
I will join.
People would be. It'd be cool. They'd be cool to see you there.
Yeah, same. We get people at the shows that we know from Discord. And that we only know their username,
right?
And so when we meet in real life, it's like, oh, I'm like, you know, whatever. Like,
yeah, you're SpongeBob 9000.
Yeah,
right.
Like, you know, it's,
I found that.
No way.
Yeah. I'll go to some show and somebody will come, hey Ryan. I'm like, hey. Oh yeah, I'm. whatever. I'm like, oh hell yeah, dude, what's up? Talk to you like every day.
Or people like after the shows, people will post videos and pictures of the show on the Discord, and you're like, you guys were there. We had no idea. There was like people from the Discord, and come and say hi next time.
I wanted to ask you about this, just kind of because I'm curious. There was a guy there at the Chicago show that had a GoPro, who was pretty much in Jessica's face the whole time. Was he like with the? Do you remember? Was he like with the venue or?
I do remember him. I have no idea who he was.
Yeah,
he's pissing me off, dude.
I do remember him
because I was.
It was a bit. Yeah.
He was in line with me and Jessica, so I'd try and get her, and then a stupid GoPro would come up right in her face. I'm like, dude.
Was it on a stick or something?
Yeah, it was on the stick.
I remember him. From the stage, it's not really a problem. I mean, kind of like it doesn't really. Yeah. But I understand how from the audience it might be a bit like, can you just get that thing out of my face?
There was two girls that his arm was like right between him, and he would go, and they're kind of moving out of the way. I'm like, well, he must be with the venue, getting video for the venue.
It's not great.
Oh, that sucks. Then.
Yeah. People, if you film the shows, be aware of other people. Don't ruin everybody else's experience.
I go and I try
reach over other crowd members.
Yeah, I try and document stuff, but I when I go, I put my phone right over my hat, right here, so I know it's not like blocking somebody else.
You're not blocking someone.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
And this dude, I'll keep cussing him in my video then because. I was Con Corazon came on, which is like my favorite song. I'm like, dude, freaking sweet, and I go right over to her, and then this camera comes up. I'm like, god damn it, put your camera down. So I just put mine away and just enjoyed the song, so that was cool too.
Yeah. Also that I don't understand. Like I'm fully for taking videos of the shows.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think there's need to film the whole show.
No.
It's like people, very few people know how to really live in a moment nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's like, just being present and appreciating something, just whatever it is. Like I found that for myself when we were driving through Colorado and Utah. Like I was like, I saw some canyons and I was trying to film it, and I was like, you know what, just put my phone down and just watch it. Just enjoy it.
I did the same, man. We were coming down some crazy roads through, canyons and switchbacks and stuff, and I'm trying to you can't ever get the scope of that on a damn phone.
No.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Every time we try to film what we were seeing or going through, it would look nothing like
Just
real life.
doesn't translate.
It is impossible to translate it.
Have to use your words.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that with, I don't want to, I like to get a song or two from a show and maybe some moments, but for the most part, I like to just enjoy the show.
Yeah.
You're not going to watch that video again, and nobody else is going to watch it, so why are you ruining this guy's view behind you?
Like, you go home and watch the entire set again on your phone.
Right. It's been super fun.
A pleasure. It was great.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you.
Nice to meet you guys.
Next time we can catch up in Chicago.
Yeah,
That'd be
definitely.
I'll do this again.
Yeah, you come back around, I'll be seeing you.
Awesome.
I wish Jessica the best, and I hope you guys have a great tour and over in Europe.
Thanks so much.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
And see you on the Discord in the meantime.
Yeah, see you then. Take it easy, guys.
All right.
See you later.
Bye.